Sample 21 is a box pleat sample. Unlike your knife pleats that all folded in one direction, a box pleat actually creates an inverted box. And so it's just another method of folding the pleats so that you have a different form of fullness, and it's just another design element. So your first thing to do is to cut out your muslin from the pattern. It's cut one on fold. It's the same pattern as you used for your knife pleat. So you are going to clip all your notches on the top and the bottom. And I have marked mine with a marker just so that it's easier for you to understand. So we're going to begin with our muslin piece. Our notches are marked. You do not have to put these markings in, but if you do, it's okay, just in case, so it's easier for you to see. I've marked the top of mine, so I know that this is going to be the top section. Here's my bottom. It's really a folding technique that will distinguish the box pleat. So I'm just going to turn it this way so it makes it easier for me to fold. And I'm going to take these first set of notches, and I am only going to fold it to the next set of notches. And you're going to pin it in. So you have a top and a bottom, and you can pin that in. Now, unlike the knife pleat that all went in one direction, these are going to fold in toward each other. So this is folded in this direction, and I have a center. Now I'm going to take the next set of notches, and I am going to fold them toward the pleat I just made. And so that we will say that those folded edges are kissing. And you want them not to overlap or there be a space. You want them to just kiss. You want them to meet exactly at that point. And you're going to do the same for the bottom. Now we have a space here. We have another set of notches. We're going to start our second pleat. I'm going to take those the next set of notches, and I am going to fold them to the next open notches. And this will create our second box pleat. And to create the other part of that second box pleat, I'm going to take this set of notches and fold them toward the pleat I just made. So they're folding in on each other. You'll do that all the way across. When you're finished pinning, you'll have a total of 5 box pleats, which you can count by the fold. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to press them in place. I'm going to take my iron and I'm just going to go over so I can kind of cement them in there. And then I am carefully going to take my pins out, one pleat at a time, and press. And you want to press all of them in. So my pleats are pressed in. I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, according to the folds. And you can see that they all fold in on each other. The next step is to go, you can keep them pinned, or if you're comfortable with them pressed in like this, we're going to go over to our machine and we are going to stitch those pleats in across the top. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. It's a permanent stitch. I'm going to lock it at the beginning and the end, and I'm going to make sure that those pleats stay in place. Remember, they're kissing at these folds. You don't want any overlap or any space. So you want to make sure you manipulate them and press again if they're not meeting just right. Go ahead and stitch across to permanently set them in. Once they're stitched in, you can see that the top stays stable and the bottom can move. I don't want to leave these edges raw, so my last step is I'm going to overlock this edge. I'm going to overlock the bottom, but making sure I spread out those pleats when I overlock, and I'm going to overlock the other side. And lastly, you want to overlock this top edge with pleats in place. Here's my piece. I've overlocked the pleats in place on top, and the edges, the bottoms open up, and that's your finished box pleat sample.